Okay, guys, we just got done talking. I just got done talking to you about a lot of things in the past two videos. Basically, just a lot of stuff concerning the end times and some stuff concerning bug out bags and get home bags, which I already in the past I had done I think it was a 6-part series on a proper way to bug out, okay, because that had been a request. Now, in the next few videos, maybe this week coming or the next week, I'm gonna do a couple of videos on a get home bag. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna make up a get home bag. I used to have a get home bag. Basically, it was just a life preserver bag, I guess you would call it, because most of the time I was here and there. I always had this bag with me. Now, my situation has changed since those days, and I haven't had a bag like that traveled with me all the time for a number of years. But things are getting more and more wild by the day. So I'm going to do a get home bag for these times right now coming up. I talked a little bit about get home bag and bug out bag construction in the last video. You should have a well constructed bag, not a cheap one. In this video, I'm going to speak about Matthew 24 in the Bible, because many people read Matthew 24, but they don't necessarily understand the intricacies of Matthew 24. There are some people that say that Matthew 24 pertains only to the Jews, which that's not true, and I'm going to show you why. Okay. Matthew 24 also speaks of the rapture. People keep saying all the time, rapture is not in the Bible. Yeah, well, yeah, it is. The rapture is in the Bible. You just have to be educated in the Bible. You have to have been shown by the Holy Spirit. Any Christian who has the Holy Spirit and asks the proper questions of God is going to be shown in the Bible what, certain things. So when they talk about the rapture, well, the word rapture is not in the Bible in English. Now, if you go back to the Greek translation, okay, or the Latin translation, and the Latin translation is rapturo. That's in the Bible. You go to the Greek translation, back in the past, harpazo, right? But see, when they translate things to English, then they translate it in a way that, they translate, it's the same meaning, just different way of translating it, a different way of saying it, right? So there you go. So I'm going to start out, I'm not going to be long on this one. I'm just going to I got Revelation over here, okay? Just a few notes about Revelation. But over here I got notes on starting with verse 5 all the way down to 15, okay, to 14, and then 15 I'll explain that. But I want to go verse by verse here, okay? And what I'm going to tell you is that all of these things have happened. People say, we're not in the end times. Certain things like this have always happened. And everybody thought that it was the end in the past. But you know, the thing is that it was like, you know, when it came to things in the past, you might have one particular thing or another particular thing, but you never had all of these things happening at the same time, and all these signs and symbols in the sky and so on. You never had all that stuff. So please don't bring me that argument, because it's just false. That's a false argument. And somebody said about the rapture. See, the thing about the difference between me and many people out there is that I started out not knowing about the rapture myself. I was in that unbeliever camp a long time ago. I just didn't have the understanding because I didn't have as good a relationship with my Father as I have now. The Father gives you the Holy Spirit, and you want to know something, it says that the Holy Spirit will teach you all things. This is, there you go. So if God will teach you, if you're open to learning, God will teach you what you need to know. So only after a lot of prayer and research in the Bible and talking with other Christians and cross-referencing and thing, I figured out. I didn't figure it out. I saw that the rapture is a real deal. I mean, it's a real thing. It's not made up. It's in the Bible. It wasn't made up in the 1800s like some people say. Even the Greek Orthodox Church, I saw something by a Greek Orthodox priest said, oh, it was made up in the 1800s. I mean, come on, man. Please come at me. Please come at me with some more authority than that. I mean, especially being a priest. So, Matthew 24, we're going to start with verse 5, because that's really where it starts. The first 4 verses kind of lead up into this. And this is Jesus saying this. Okay. I've got like 6 more minutes. Verse 5, there will be false Christs. We saw that already. That's been going on for a number of years. There have been guys here and there. I don't know, there's been 5 or 6 of them claim to be Jesus. One even in Australia is claiming to be Jesus, and his sister was claiming to be Mary. I mean, come on. We've seen that. Wars and rumors of wars. Yes, wars and rumors of wars have been going on for thousands of years, right? But this particular wars and rumors of wars, in the end, how do we know it's in the end times? Because Jesus said this is in the end times. It didn't say, in times past. This is speaking of the end times. Wars and rumors of wars. The United States been at war for more than 20 years. Finally, and now, and that does not include all of the skirmishes and all of the black operations that go on that nobody knows about except for a select few, right? So, but these particular wars and rumors of wars are going to be centralized, in my opinion, on the Middle East. And it's just getting progressively worse over there. Very much so. You start talking like Psalm 83 war, you're talking about Ezekiel 38, 39, that sort of thing. All that stuff's heading that direction right now. You would just definitely have to have your head in a hole to not see it. Pestilence, famine, verse 7, pestilence, famine, earthquakes, and all that. People are starving everywhere. And to note, as a note, these early things here, these are not things that necessarily God had any hand in, right? Pestilence, famine, earthquakes, and all that. I'm attributing to these earthquakes and tsunamis and other stuff. I'm attributing them, in my opinion, to something to do with the moon. Okay. Famine. It does not say that the famine is caused directly by God or His angels. Okay. It does not. It doesn't say that, right? I mean, of course, there's going to be plagues and all that other stuff, right? I mean, we're not even. This is not in the area of the Bible when we talk about Revelation with the seals and trumpets. This is just the early stuff, right? So we already have mankind-induced famine simply through GMO frankenfood and the WEF and all of these other organizations buying up farmland, burning down chicken houses, burning down beef plants, and all. We see all of this stuff going on. This is in plain sight, people. So it's the main reason why people have gone to raising their own food as far as animals go, and growing crops and so on. This is the main reason right there. Pestilence. People think of pests when they think pestilence, but pestilence really has to do with like diseases and things, right? And they brought up this pandemic, okay? Oh yeah, it's the big pandemic, blah blah blah, and they got everybody to, you know, a lot of people took that thing and all that stuff, you know. So verse 7 here is a lot of stuff that has just happened and is happening now, okay. And then verse 8 says that these are the beginnings of sorrows. Those verses 5, 6, and 7, those are the beginnings of sorrows, okay. So I'm almost out of time on this video, but this first part of Matthew 24 refers directly to Christians that are alive right now on earth before the rapture. So I'm about out of time. I'm going to stop at verse 8, and then we're going to continue in the next video. See you there.